Hey gang, Michael Lush again with Replace University. I'm the president and CEO of Replace University and Replace Your Mortgage, which again is probably the main reason why you're here. If you're here, it's probably because you're a homeowner or a would-be homeowner and you've come to the realization that a mortgage is not the only way to finance real estate. And I'm going to start with this. For some people, not all, for some people, a 9% line of credit can cost less than a 3% mortgage. That sounds crazy, right? Like, why would a 9% line of credit cost less than a 3% mortgage? You're kind of comparing apples and oranges. A line of credit, simple interest, although mortgages can technically be simple interest, you're charged once a month based on the balance of that mortgage, where a line of credit is recasting automatically every single day for free. That's a fancy word for saying you are paying interest based on that day's balance, right? And then if tomorrow's balance is lower, guess what? The interest that is charged to you adjusts higher or lower depending on how you use it. But here's why a 9% line of credit, which is hard to find. I'm sure they're out there. We obviously wouldn't recommend a 9% home equity line of credit. There's much lower. We've seen as low as 0% to as high as about 7.5%, 8%, right? But I'm using 9% to just draw a dramatic comparison between a really low rate mortgage, which a lot of Americans may have because they refinanced in 2020 or 2021 when rates dropped and plummeted, to a 9% home equity line of credit that I'm sure is out there. I'm sure your big box banks, I won't name the names, but the big box banks that most people bank with and have checking accounts with, they probably have pretty egregious interest rates as far as home equity lines of credit. But why would the interest cost less on the home equity line of credit than the mortgage? It comes down to the convenience and comfortability of putting all of your cash into it. See, that's where a mortgage went wrong. For some Americans. And the reason why I say, let me back up real quick. Here, I go to explain it, and then I want to back up again. Welcome to my world of ADHD without medication. Mortgages changed after 1916, 1934, and so on, really after the institution of the Federal Reserve, because banks have the ability to execute what's called fractional reserve lending. So banks wanted to get more of our hard-earned dollars in their coffers in the form of checking and savings accounts. So at that time, that's when a mortgage became a closed-end product, meaning money goes in easily. You can put 100% of your income into a mortgage, absolutely. But when it's time to pull money back out, there's only two ways to do it, refinance or sell. And both, as you already know, are very costly. You got closing costs and origination points and discount points and application fees and underwriting fees and appraisal fees and all this stuff just in a refinance or a sell. So that's not efficient. So it became a closed-end product because it forced us Americans to put our money somewhere else for safekeeping, which is a checking and savings account. So yeah, you could put 100% in day one, but when it's time to pay the utilities and the cell phone bills and the car insurance and gas and all that, you can't. It's locked in the bank's treasure chest in a mortgage. Where a line of credit gives us that comfort because it's a two-way street. Money can go in freely and it can come out freely. We have instantaneous liquidity. So since we have that liquidity, we now have the comfort and confidence to put 100% of our cash into it. So instead of putting all of our money into a checking account, earning close to 0%, we can now use the home equity line of credit as our checking account, deposit all of our reserves, all of our cash flow, all of our paychecks into that line of credit. What does that do? It suppresses the balance. Day one, money going into a line of credit goes to principal first, then interest is calculated, right? So if you start off at 100 grand, you put 10 grand in, now you have a balance of 90 grand. That tomorrow you get charged per diem, daily interest, based on the 90,000, not the original 100,000. And by utilizing 100% of your cash flow, assuming you are somebody that makes more money than you spend, so you are cash flow positive. Let's say you earn 10 grand a month and you spend 6 or 7. Good job. That's cash flow positive. Could it get better? Absolutely. You could either cut some of your expenses or you could make more money. I live in a world where I feel like it's easier to make more money than it is to cut expenses. But that's cash flow positivity. If that is you, then this is a great strategy to take a look at. By the way, If you've enjoyed watching any of these videos and you enjoy watching this channel because it's kind of giving you, if you watch all the videos, it's giving you a step-by-step play of what you can do with your own personal finances to get ahead, to beat inflation. I hear it all too much, whether it's my family or the folks around me. Gas is up, food prices are up, housing is up, insurance is up, everything's up. Well, you can't really adjust insurance. You could shop around as best you can. How are you going to combat gas prices unless you own your own oil company? And if you did, you're not worried about inflation. In fact, you're probably benefiting from it. But what are some things that we can control? Is cutting costs somewhere else, which is our housing costs. So if you look at the third page of a loan estimate on a mortgage, in your closing documents, you're paying 60, 70, 80, 90, 100% total interest percentage. But if we had a simple interest line of credit and we were those specific people where we make more money than we spend and we bypass the bank altogether, now all of our cash got a job, woke up and started working for us even when we sleep. That's why a 9% home equity line of credit in the long term would cost far less interest than a 3% mortgage. Again, the mortgage is the tool to separate you from your cash. It became a closed-end instrument so that banks were propped up to get our dollars in the form of checking and savings account so they could then turn our dollars, which is technically a liability to them, because when you put money into a bank account, it's technically their liability as well. Not only is it a liability to us because we're not getting a rate of return that keeps up with inflation, it is also a liability to the bank. But we got to start thinking like bankers. How do they turn a liability into an asset? They take your dollars that on contract, they have to give you a rate of return pretty close to 0%, but it's above zero, so it's technically a liability to them. They have to wake those dollars up, give them a job, and lend it out to somebody else in the form of loans at 6, 7, 8, 9%. Well, we can do the same thing. So why even use a checking and savings account when you have all the same instruments to be able to use your home equity line of credit, no different than your checking account, depositing all of your cash flow into it. The end result is not only do you have your home paid off faster, but you pay far less in interest. But in my opinion, the number one piece of value is liquidity. Now it's not trapped. It's not trapped in the bank's treasure chest. You have instantaneous access to that equity. So if an opportunity arises, you can spring on it. If an emergency comes up, guess what? You're still liquid. You're not liquid with a mortgage, and that's why it was structured and designed that way, was so that banks could get more checking and savings accounts. So if you fit that category, cash flow positivity, you make more money than you spend, you should definitely entertain this and just run the numbers. It's free to run the numbers, side-by-side comparison. What if I paid extra on my mortgage? What if I paid extra in a home equity line of credit? Could you get close with a mortgage? Yes, but it is a very scary road, because think about paying all of that extra towards your mortgage and it being locked up for years, where in a home equity line of credit, you have 24/7 access to it. If something were to come up, I got it. So which one gives you more confidence to overpay, your mortgage or your home equity line of credit? There's where you start cutting interest, and that's how you can start beating inflation. Y'all take care. God bless.